Well, my name is Shibu. I'm a faculty member in the School of Natural Resources at the College of Agriculture, Food, and Natural Resources at the University of Missouri here in Columbia. And I'm also director for the Center for Agroforestry at MU. Well, the Center for Agroforestry is a unique program. Some of you may know what agroforestry is all about. It is a land use practice in which you combine multiple species. And one of those species often is a tree or a shrub with herbaceous crop species. So the principle behind agroforestry is very similar to multi-cropping, and cover crop is very similar to multi-cropping when you think about it. So it is our pleasure to present to you the Missouri Cover Crop Research and Extension Symposium today. In addition to those of you who are in this room, the symposium is also streamed live, so there are a number of participants joining all of you through online streaming, watching the speakers on their computers. Well, I have a couple of slides that I wanted to share with you before I get into my real objective of standing up here, that is to introduce Dr. Dave Baker to welcome you. So I will do that in a few minutes. But before that, let me throw up this slide. What is that? What does that tell you? The Dust Bowl. Well, that was one of those defining moments or events in American history that really made us aware of the importance of saving soil. I also would like to throw up maybe a few more pictures up there. Do you recognize that? Some of you do. The Sanborn Field, and that is Dean Sanborn standing there. The picture was taken in 1926, but the Sanborn Field was established back in 1888, nearly 125 years ago. And the other picture is Professor Miller and his runoff erosion plots here in Columbia. And these folks were perhaps the pioneers, at least in the US, when it comes to thinking about soil erosion as a problem and trying to quantify and trying to find solutions. And do you recognize those two names? Dwight Smith and Walt Wishmeyer? They were also pioneers in quantifying soil erosion. How many of you have heard of universal soil loss equation? At least a few of you. But they were pioneers who helped develop the universal soil loss equation. And they were also from here, with the university here in Columbia. Well, much of the work later moved to Purdue in West Lafayette. Walt moved over there with ARS, helped establish and modify the universal soil loss equation. But I just wanted to bring this to home, show you that this town has a rich history when it comes to identifying and quantifying soil erosion and loss of soil as a major problem. That brings us to today's topic, cover crops. And now we know that cover crops can protect the soil, improve soil fertility, and help the economic bottom line of farmers. Well, when you think about it, we have to say it's nothing new. Just like agroforestry, cover crops is also an age-old practice. If you look at civilizations, you will notice that civilizations were built up on topsoil, and that's no exaggeration. cultures that protected soil survived. Well, if you did not take care of your soil, if you destroyed the topsoil, the results would be something like this: the 100 dead cities. Walter Laudermilk, an official with the then Soil Conservation Service of USDA, traveled the world looking at how civilizations, cultures protected soil, and submitted a report. And this is what he said: the 100 dead cities, civilizations that neglected the topsoil, and how they perished. Well, we know better. Cover crops can provide a multitude of benefits. If we protect the topsoil, we can sustain and we can save humanity. And that's no secret. And you are the experts. We have an excellent slate of speakers here today to talk to you about the benefits, the practices of cover cropping. One of them, well, we do have several pioneers sitting among the audience. One of them, Mike Plummer. He is one of those pioneers, and he will be talking to you at lunchtime today. So, with that, I would like to invite Dr. Dave Baker, the Assistant Dean for Extension at the College of Agriculture, Food, and Natural Resources here at the University of Missouri, to extend the welcome to you all.
I want to thank Shibu, but I also want to clarify, Shibu, one other thing you didn't give on the history. For those of you that look at Sanborn Field, it is the second oldest research plot in the United States, continuous, the first west of the Mississippi. But in addition to that, there is a plot, not known by many of us, that sits right over here by a parking garage at the hospital, where the universal soil loss equation was arrived at. And I've kidded NRCS for years, they ought to go and bow to that because it is sacred soil, but it is still over there. But seriously, I want to welcome you on behalf of the College of Agriculture, Food, and Natural Resources and University of Missouri Extension. I want to thank Rob and Shibu for pulling this together, and I especially want to thank North Central Sarah and the Agroforestry Center for sponsoring it. We've got quite a cross-discipline or cross-section of the Missouri ag industry here today. You start looking at ARS, you start looking at NRCS, you start looking at Soil and Water, Department of Agriculture, the College of Agriculture, both teaching and research, MDC. We've got all aspects of the ag industry represented here today, and I think this is an extremely important topic. As Shibu said, this is not new. It is new the way we're doing it today. I can remember rotations. I can remember things like that in Illinois where we rotated corn, soybeans, forages, even had animals at that point in time, but corn and soybeans became the predominant crops. Soil loss became an issue, filling up ditches. But Missouri has been a leader in addressing that, and it's been a partnership between NRCS. It's been a partnership with Soil and Water. It's been a partnership with both research and extension on this campus and Lincoln University. So it's important that you realize that you've got the best experts here, and I think Rob and Shibu have pulled together a tremendous program. As I look at the names, I look at the topics, they're extremely important topics as we move forward in this area, and I think you've got some of the best people that are going to provide these presentations today. And again, I want to thank them. I want to welcome you to Columbia, and I also want to commit on behalf of the college that we will do everything we can from a research and extension standpoint to support the program and provide the important thing that's made us unique in this country, that's that research-based information. So on behalf of the college, on behalf of MU Extension, I want to welcome you, and I want to thank you again, Shibu, for pulling this together and turn it over to you. I hope you have a great day. Thank you.